Alright. This took a while. Like a long time. Not really, it was a month and a half? Um, yeah, about a month and a half. Uh, as you can see, well, not really, but as you can see, Platinum, Dark Souls 3, etc. I did most of them. I tried doing Sekiro, got to the final boss, and I'm kind of caught on that, so maybe I'll make an update to do that. And then I just got Night Rain, and I am figuring out that game. That game is quite different. But, yeah. I did everything else. I did, like, Bloodborne, uh, Elden Ring, PS4 and PS5 version, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and... Am I forgetting another one? Maybe. But no, basically I wanted to do this because I'm pretty much done playing Dark Souls. It was a nice, getting over... Not getting over the hump, it's a nice send-off. I'll rank them all at the end, but if you're just here for the opinion of should you 100% trophy them, no. No, don't even. Don't do it. I'm gonna say, unless you're a really big, Dark Souls, Fromsoft fan, don't even waste your time. If you want to at least do one, I'd say Elden Ring. Elden Ring was the easiest. Like, I've done that. I've done it on PlayStation twice, and then I've done it on Steam, I've done it on Xbox. That one's the easiest because it's just playing the game. Like, you get most of the trophies just by playing, and then when you get to in-game, it's just collecting crap. Where a lot of the other ones require, like, 3, 4 playthroughs. So, excuse me, music. Okay. But, I figured I'll give my, I'll rank them and I'll give my opinions and tell you what achievements suck and what didn't. I think we just go right down the list. Let's do. Yeah, we'll do Dark Souls Remastered. So this one wasn't bad. Okay, so I was gonna say either Elden Ring or Dark Souls 1. Easiest ones to 100%. You could technically do it in one playthrough. I think. I think I only did one. I might have done two. Let me go through real quick. I feel like I just did it in one playthrough. I might have done two. If it was, is because I messed up during the first playthrough, and I would be doing where is it? Oh wait, does it not have spells? Could have sworn. Yeah, here. Acquire all souls. Yeah, I did two playthroughs because I messed up on the pyromancy. I was a little too far ahead, and so the person to no, it was acquired a boss soul. So the person I needed wouldn't let me have the thing. Or it wasn't a boss, it was because I beat the Bed of Chaos first. And once you beat it, you can't really talk to her. So you got to talk to her before that. And so that's why I had to do a second playthrough. But if I did it right, I wouldn't have to. And you can do it all in one playthrough because you can just save scum. You can literally save before the boss, because I think, yeah, no, because once you go in, it goes right into New Game Plus after you beat the boss. So if you save right before the boss, you can do, Link the Fire ending and then the Dark Lord ending. Which I thought you had to not talk to Framp, which is the long neck guy. And then you go through until you hit the Abyss and then get the other guy. I forget his name, but he's basically Framp. And then he has a covenant. And I thought that's how you're supposed to do it to get the ending. And no, it turns out you just turn around and go out the door. It's literally just walk out the door and boom, ending 2. So I didn't really have any problems collecting all rare weapons. You literally get that as you play. Same with all the spells, except for the Wisdom of a Sage. You gotta do the mage storyline, and then you get the last spell that you need. But that one's really easy to do. Pyromancy was probably the worst. I don't remember miracles, so clearly wasn't that bad because I think you buy most of the miracles. Covenants are easy. They're like literally right there. I think the hardest covenant was Path of the Dragon because you had to go down a tree. So first you go to... Oh, it's not called the gutter. The swamp area, the poison place. But then you go through there and you had to climb all the way down, and then you go up a tree, and then it's behind a false wall, and then you gotta descend down a tree, and then you gotta descend across a sandy river, and then you get to the dragon, and then you could join. So that was like one of the more annoying ones, and then... I'm gonna say... Yeah, that's the only really annoying covenant. Weapons are easy. Especially, so I did some glitches. So I did like the Souls dupe. And then I did, what is it? Item dupe. So I was able to max out all the weapons in one playthrough. I mean, I probably could have done it anyway, but I just didn't want to waste a bunch of time on it. And, yeah, no, none of them were really hard to do. I mean, you get Light Bonfire Flame, that's literally the first one, and same with acquiring Estus Flask. These are literally, you just play and you get them. Yeah, even Red Kindling. Yeah, these are all just kind of checkpoints in the game. So like I said, Dark Souls 1 is very, user-friendly. Or very new player-friendly, I should say. None of the bosses are hard. I think the hardest one would be just Dark Sun Gwendolyn, because it's annoying. It's not even hard, it's just annoying. Maybe the Four Kings. I mean, I don't remember it being hard because I just tank everything and then I one-shot most of it. Final boss is kind of a joke. Maybe, yeah, no, there's like no real hard bosses. So I'd say if you really want to 100% it and get the Algeo trophies, this one's not a bad one to do. And then, yeah, you get the Dark Seal, which is nice. So yeah, that's Dark Souls 1. Really easy. Great game. Very new player friendly. A lot of people say Bloodborne is, but yeah. If you can get past the janky, clanky controls, I suggest that one. Let's go to Dark Souls 2. One of my favorites, and by far probably it's not the worst, but it's up there. So this game sucks, like to 100%. Not as bad as some of the other ones, but it still sucks. A lot of them you get from playing, like King's Ring, Self-Recollection. That's just killing the Dargon, I believe. And then yeah, the endings. I think there's only one, right? Yeah, there. Most of it's just like the primal bonfires. Yeah, the game only had one ending. Bosses are janky, but not that bad. Defeating Vendrick was kind of annoying because if you used the big souls, then you'd have to go on to New Game Plus and do it that way. And technically you could use bonfire aesthetics, which I used quite a bit to do most of the stuff, but it took me all the way to New Game Plus, so New Game Plus 3, because these three require covenant spells, and doing covenant stuff online is ass. So, New Game yeah, 3 pluses. There's a guy in one of the areas, in the castle. He's a phantom, kind of ghostly-like guy, and you can buy them off of him. So you got to go through the game 3 times. Not the worst, because it's pretty short if you know where you're going. Then there's, for Master of Sorceries, there's the Bell Tower grind. That one was kind of annoying, but not that bad. It's in the best way to do it is the Iron Forge Keep. You basically slaughter everybody. And I mean everybody, over and over and over until they despawn. And then you go right by the bonfire of the Bellkeep, and I think it's a Veil, and you cast Veil, and you wait and see if the eye goes up. And it's literally just do that over and over and over until you hit 30 of them, and then you get the spell. But if you switch Covenants, then that resets it, so there's that. That one was kind of annoying. And then Master of Hexes, it was kind of annoying because you had to go fight boss, or you had to go through and light all the torches in the, I don't know, what is it called? The old guy opens up a portal, but yeah, you go in there and light all those torches, then you gotta fight the boss, which the boss is not hard, but it's just kind of dumb. But then you get the spell. I don't remember using any boss souls to get spells. This is one that I did without like souls dupe or anything. This was just straight playing, and yeah, reinforce a weapon to its limit was easy. I don't remember this, but I remember it wasn't bad getting all the jesters. Covenants were easy. I think the only really annoying one is, oh, where is it? Oh, I don't remember the name, but basically you're not supposed to be in any covenants. Then you're supposed to drop your summon sigil, and you get proof of something or something like that. That might be 3, but basically it's the same thing. And then you talk to the guy, and then you can join the covenant. If you don't do that, then it's like, oh god, I either gotta do a New Game Plus or abandon covenant. It was annoying. Some of the, no, I did have to use boss souls for spells, because some of them, like the spider, you don't get her actual boss soul until New Game Plus or Plus Plus. And so bonfire aesthetic made it easier, but again, annoying. Max out devotion to Covenant, which I think was from the Bellkeeper, if I remember right. Light all the flames on the map. That's just playing it. And then a lot of the characters, you gotta do their quests. And that's not that bad. And then, of course, dying. Like, none of it was bad until you got to these 4. And there was a ring one. There's the... not the King's Ring. hexes. Maybe not rings. I could have sworn it was rings. A lot of it just blends in, by the way. So if I'm like sitting there going, "Oh," that's me trying to remember, because if you do this back to back, everything just kind of blends. Okay, yeah. So I guess it's not the rings. But no, yeah, Dark Souls 2 is not bad, but you do got to do like 3 playthroughs, and it's mainly just getting spells. And the spells require to go to the DLC too. So you had to go through all the DLCs, find all the spells there, and then you got to do some New Game Plus stuff to get boss souls or use bonfire aesthetics, and then you just go to New Game Plus or whatever, and then buy the rest. So it's not that bad. It's just time consuming. And then after your first playthrough, like all the other new games that you do after that is not that bad. Like I literally didn't have a problem at all. Like I think I beat the dragon on New Game Plus Plus, and the dragon was, it's like a one shot, but it's easy. So not the worst. I wouldn't recommend it. It is time consuming, but not the worst. Dark Souls 3 was the last one I did. And this required a couple endings, which you could do all in one run. You could do all 3 of these in one run. Not that bad. You just save it and then reload your save. All the bosses are easy. Sorry, that was me trying to get some coffee. That was kind of easy but annoying because you just had to have all the stuff. But after like one playthrough, you get all the stuff. It's not that bad. Sorceries wasn't that bad. Neither was pyromancies or miracles. Some of it was New Game Plus. Yeah, because a couple of bosses required, because you had to get rings too. So some of the boss souls gave you rings, some gave you magic, but not a lot of it required boss souls. And the Master Rings was annoying because in order to get the rings, you had to get them like 3 times because they have variations of them, and so you got to run through the game 3 times. And same with Master of Expressions. Some of it you had to do it like on a second playthrough, because if you messed up, which I did, one of the endings require you to get the old man back to the bonfire, and then you get the dark sigil in ya. And so I saved that for next new game. But all in all, it wasn't that bad. Upgrading Estus was really not bad at all. Really easy. You find most of them as you play. Covenants were easy. The grind sucked. I remember now. It's coming back to me. So some of the rings are covenant locked, and so are the spells. And I had to grind 5 covenants. The worst one was the ones where you had to fight the White Knights, or whatever they're called, to get Proof of Concord. I tried doing multiplayer stuff, and then, so I did 3 out of the 5 normally. I grind out their stuff. And then I realized, oh my god, it's so much easier to just drop a red sigil sign, summon sign, and then have your covenant equip, and then just kill the person that summoned you. And if you have 2 PlayStations, not that bad. Really easy. You can get it all done in an hour, so I did the last 2 that way. But if you don't have that, then it's literally, the drops were terrible. One covenant took like 5 hours, and you're just going around killing. The Pharaoh one is really easy. There's a bonfire and there's 3 of them, and you just kill them and reset, kill them and reset. Trying to think. Rosaria was pretty easy because the Dark Wraith that's near the Abyss Watcher, they have a high chance of dropping him. So you just kill them and reset. Blade of the Dark Moon is the worst because that's the Orlando one where you have to kill the knights, and the knights have a very low chance of dropping them. Did that though. There is a multiplayer one. Warriors of Sunlight's multiplayer, but again, that's when I did the 2 PlayStations and Red Summon Sign because you still get those. Mountain Makers 2. I did that with that. I don't remember. I think it was killing the skeletons in the catacombs. That's where I gave up because the drops on those were terrible. Eldritch Faith was easy. It was just killing the priests, or you can go and invade. So, if you were to do this, the worst part is the covenants, unless you have 2 PlayStations, or 2 computers, or whatever you have, 2 Xboxes, and then doing the rings. Those were the worst. And then the rest is just reaching places and fighting bosses, and those were pretty easy. Especially like with each new game playthrough, like it wasn't that bad. All right, now we're gonna get to the ones I hated. Oh, I hated doing. Oh, we saw Elden Ring. I guess we could do that. This is the PS5 one. All easy. This is by far the most easiest one to do. The bosses aren't hard. You literally, you get different endings, and you can do that with 1 playthrough. Like this is one that you can literally do with 1 playthrough. It's that easy. There is no New Game Plus or anything like that. Most of it's boss. It was literally go fight this boss, go fight that boss, go fight this boss, and then God's Lair and upgrading you to the highest. That was easy. You could do it more than once, and then legendary armaments. Ashen Remains kind of a little annoying if you have a guide, but a list of saying get this item, pretty self-explanatory. This boss is a joke. If you have the Archer Ashen and they're maxed out, you just put them over to the left and then you just stand to the right, and then he'll just throw thunder, and then you'll just watch as he dies to the Archer, and you just dodge thunder. Like this game is easy to do, and then all spells and incantations are easy to get. Talismans are annoying because they're a little bit out of your way. Other than that, yeah, no, like way doable in 1 playthrough. And then yeah, there's that version, and then I did the. I gotta really scroll down. I did the PS4 version, if I can find it. Too many games. The backlog. Holy. There we go. And then as you can see, PS4. PS4 was done. I actually played the PS4 version before the PS5. Because I got it when it first came out and I had a PS4. Then the PS5 one I did recently, and then I did Steam and all that. Like it's easy. Alright, we're gonna do the first of the 2 I really hated. And I can't find it. Holy. Yeah, most of my platinum trophies are all Souls games with Ghost of Tsushima. And then I have a few that are close, like Helldivers almost finished. And Stellar Blade, that just I think is 1 more ending. So where the fuck is it? There's that one. Okay, here we go. And this one's probably gonna get hate. Bloodborne sucks. Don't do Bloodborne. It's not just me hating the game. It's literally the worst one, 200%. Besides the other one. 4 playthroughs. DLC is required. There is a chalice dungeon that lets you. It lets you get souls for doing nothing. And so I was pretty much max leveled, and I was running through each new game plus, or new game, continuation of the new games, and I still felt like I was, level 1, which is annoying because when you do that, you should feel like not as bad, but this game has like no balancing. And a lot of the hitboxes on the enemies and bosses suck, like really bad. And I've noticed it when I was doing it. The two that I really hate aren't the two that are, from software. They are from software, but they're the Sony ones that I really hate. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad just play it once. Even though the story to me is very boring. But no, this game was terrible to do. Like the grinds for the Covenant was just annoying. Like it's easy to do, but it's annoying. All hunter weapons. I mean, that wasn't hard to get, but again, all the hunter weapons literally felt the same. Like I think that was a dumb decision. I mean, they should have had like other weapons that weren't like trick weapons. And I get the idea of, oh look at these are cool, they change, and I'm like cool, but they all feel the same. They don't really do damage. It just not fun. And like if you're doing it, if you're 100% in this, not fun. Because you're using the same weapon. I literally used basically the greatsword. I forget what it's called. But no. And now the armor was terrible. It all looks the same. Hunter tools, barely even used them, but those are easy to get to. I think I had the torch and that was it. Making a weapon to the highest thing is not that bad, and that's the gem's not that bad. That one's random. You get one in the DLC, so you instantly would get it that way, but I got mine through a chalice. And that's another thing, you gotta do chalice stuff. I don't even remember the rune thing at all, so that just goes to show. All the locations kind of suck. They all blended the same. The bosses were like just boring. They were hit sponges, so I noticed the many times I fought the same bosses over again. It doesn't matter how much damage you're doing. They all have a certain, when you hit them, they have a bunch of invincibility frames, and it's really dumb because if they're just standing there yelling and you're whapping, sometimes it doesn't detect the hit until like 5 whaps in, and then it starts to tick down the health, and it gets really annoying because then they can just come up and hit you and do like half your health. Like, I still don't get why people like this game so much. I think it's just because of the Lovecraftianness of it. All the bosses sucked, especially like this one. That one sucked. Just chase a guy and whap him into a corner. It's like, that's not fun. I'm trying to think if there's any boss I actually enjoyed fighting. I don't remember. They all bleed the same. I can tell you which ones I hated fighting. And chalices suck. So there's a few chalice achievements, like there's a boss that you have to fight in a chalice. And then in order to get that, you have to go through and level up all the chalices. Luckily, I didn't waste my time with that. I looked online to see if there was a special chalice dungeon that has the boss. And there is. But you got to at least complete, I think, 3 of the first chalice tier, which is, it's not that bad. But, yeah, just doing chalices alone is just busy work. And, yeah. it's not. It's yeah. I even did the DLC because a lot of people said that the DLC was better, and the DLC is literally a reskin of the first player, or not first area, but the you know first game stuff, just slightly changed, and then the enemies are just they hit more like a truck. And I was maxed out pretty much on this, and I'm like, so if I'm maxed out and I'm kind of struggling on this, I could only imagine people who don't do like the chalice dungeon that gives you a bunch. It's by far not the fun one to do, and it was just time consuming. Most of it was I did it all in one playthrough, and then it was like the next few playthroughs I just had to get some things out of it. But it's tied between the one of the worst. The other one would be this game. This game sucks. Holy, this game sucks. Like the first playthrough was fine. I had fun with the first playthrough. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. Doing the rest. Oh, this sucked ass. Trying to think here. There's if you're doing this with a guide, the guide tells you to kill certain NPCs, right? But they don't explain why. And one of them was he was basically the guy who gives you the Ring of Favor in one. He was basically that, and I was like, well, it's like you could choose to kill him or not, so I didn't choose to. And then he ended up in the Nexus, and then I saw dead bodies, and I'm like, oh no, he's like the one person who kills the Firekeeper. Well, when you kill him, he gives you like 2 negative points to your character tendency. And there is... I'm trying to see if I can find it. There's an achievement. That's right, it was rings. Basically, for the rings, you needed to have pure white character tendency and pure black character tendency. And this is different than the world tendency, so that means don't kill NPCs. So since the guide tells you to kill the NPC, you get bad tendency whatsoever. And then if you go to the pure white tendencies or whatnot, and you don't kill the invader, and it's just an NPC, that counts towards bad player tendency. So normally what I did when I play this game is I go and I kill the lady that's in the first area of Gates of Balatra or whatever, and I get her armor because her armor is pretty decent. Nope. That gave me bad tendency, so I had to play another playthrough of that to get pure white tendency to get the rings to the ring that I need for it. I think this required 3 playthroughs. At one point, in order to grind character tendency instead of playing New Game Plus, because for some reason in this game, New Game Plus means I'm going to hit you like a truck. And I was really high level. I think I was like level 140. And again, just like Bloodborne, felt like it was nothing. There was a few spots I had to grind souls, even on like New Game Plus. And this is the one that had like special achievements. Vanquish the Tower Knight without any of the without killing any archers. Okay, that one wasn't that bad. That one you just go in and you whap his feet. And then you got like that one the Brothers Arm, that one you literally get if you free him. Wasn't that bad. But Vanquish Dragon God with the Hand of God. I didn't realize that until after I killed him, and I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, I was supposed to punch him. So, New Game Plus. I had to do 4 playthroughs because one playthrough, I made 2 new characters and then 2 playthroughs each. Because one character I kind of messed up, so I was like, screw it, I'll make a new playthrough. It's just faster to do that. And so I did that because in order to get everything, you need to use boss souls for miracles and then magic. Well, the miracles use the same as the magic, and so does the pyro, which is also considered magic. So I was like, screw it, I'll go through, do all the miracles with one character, and then the other character I'll do the rest. And then, even then, I think I had to do a third playthrough because one boss soul gave you 3 items or something like that. It's annoying. This was just not fun. The bosses were boring. Looked cool, but they were boring. But no, this one I would not recommend at all. I still get messages. I'll be like playing games, and then I'll get random people to go, "Hey, can you help me on Demon Souls? I just need this item." And I'm just sitting there going, "Why are you messaging me?" Like, I literally... Oh, it's annoying. I don't think I've ever had a game where someone's like, "Hey, help me finish this, please." But, I mean, I did it all by myself, so when they ask me to help them, I tell them, nah, dude, you got it. Like, you could do it by yourself, it's not hard. It's annoying. But, no, I would not suggest Demons. I mean, maybe playing it, but not 100%ing. Same with Bloodborne. Oh no, yeah, those are just kind of my brief thoughts of it. Here, let me get the, I'll get the ranking. List. Oh. Beautiful. I do have to say, hold on, since we're here. Where is it? This guy. So Sekiro's not that bad. I was blasting through getting trophies, right? It requires 2 full playthroughs because you have to beat all the bosses. I'm at the part of my first playthrough. I went the route where you break the iron code or something like that. So then you have to do the real true end game. And got through all that. I'm blasting through. It's fine. It's not even that bad. And then you get to Saint Ishan, or whatever his name is. And that's where I'm stuck. Because he's a 4-phase boss. And is an asshole. But other than that, game is fine. If I like the, what is it, Demon of Hatred, he wasn't even that bad. Like, the bosses aren't bad, just the final boss. And in order to get all the achievements, because I could just go through it with a new game and do it, but no, one of the achievements is beat all bosses with 1 character, so 2 playthroughs. And the annoying part on top of that is you have to upgrade all the prosthetics. Not that bad, that's 2 playthroughs, but there is one where it gets all the skills. And so, maybe I'll do it one day. Like, I'm almost done, but not. So, and then this Night Rain is just literally beat bosses. Unlock characters and beat bosses, which I'm just freshly in. So, holy crap, there's so many ads. So many ads. Go away. Go away. Okay, give me 1 sec. Where is it? Okay. Whoop, up. Alright, ranking. Okay, so this is the rank for if you should complete it or not. Yeah, right off the bat, easy rank right there for it. S tier, it's easy. Same with Dark Souls 1. These 2, okay, well, they also put the remastered. These are easy. This would, each of them would probably take a day or 2 if you just sat through and played it. Not that bad. And then I would say, two. I'd say 2 would be like in the A, just for completing wise. They're not that bad. 3 would be probably a C. this is definitely just don't bother with the Demon Souls or Bloodborne. I'd throw if you didn't have to beat all the bosses in one go. No, that's not even that. If you had a checkpoint or something like that, like if there was like a way, because you fight the final boss, you don't fight him yet. You fight the guy in the beginning. If it just saved after that and then you went straight into a 3-phase fight with him, it wouldn't be as bad. But you're doing like 4 phases all together. Like it would be higher, but I'd say C. But yeah, as for completing wise, yeah, no, I wouldn't bother with these. And then those are, if you want to, I would do these. And then 2, maybe I'll put 3 in there. It's not the worst. The Covenant grind makes it bad. If you don't have a second PlayStation or Xbox or another computer, don't do it. But if you do it, if you do have them, then yeah, no, it's not that bad. So that's it. That is it. Yeah, no. Other than that, I think the next one I'm working on, kind of have a couple going, but one is I'm going through Mario, and I've been going through Final Fantasy, so it might be one of those two, maybe. I want to do Zelda at some point, but every time I do Zelda, I get burned out real fast because it's just a bunch of busy work. But it's going to be something like that. It's either going to be like Zelda or Mario or Final Fantasy or Metroid. I'd hankering to do the Metroid series because Prime should be coming out soon. Prime 4. But yeah, no, if you like it, like, comment, and subscribe, I guess. If you don't agree with my opinion, well, that's fine. It's just my opinion. But, no. Let me know what ones you liked or didn't like to complete or you're thinking about. But yeah, other than that, you all have a great day. I'll catch y'all later.